Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know it's 10 o'clock and you know what time it is. It's time for you to come on into my office, stretch out on the couch, and let's talk about it. Today we have a great one for you. The topic is the renaming of the parks. City Council decided that the parks are named after some people that they feel that has done some African Americans bad in this community. Then there are some saying, man, that was history. It had nothing to do with that. But last time we had somebody protest called the KKK, it didn't go too good. And coming this Saturday, they're going to be in Memphis protesting the fact that, hey, you leave the name of them parks alone. We know what it represents to us, and we feel it should not change. And there are some rumors that the gangs here in Memphis are going to say, we're going to keep the Klan at hand. Well, whichever way it goes, I'd like to know, how do you feel about it?
Doc, how many minutes I got to be talked about before we can hang up? Right?
You got your 90 seconds.
But now, Doc, on my phone, Doc, it said I got 14 minutes. Doc, this is what it said, I got 14 minutes.
But you ain't got 14 minutes on the show. Come on, Bumblebee. Get in and get out.
I got to the point I'm sorry to say, but I want to say, I don't care nothing about that park. Keep that park right there.
That's how you feel? All right, Bumblebee, I'm going to keep it rolling. You got your seconds. Appreciate you, man. Gentlemen, let's not even put any hesitation to this. The founder of the Ku Klux Klan was Nathan Bedford Forrest, and they've named the park after. I think that's the biggest issue with some Memphians.
Well, that's part of the education that needs to occur, because General Forrest was not the founder of the Ku Klux Klan. It existed for over a year before he allegedly ever got involved in it. So Forrest was not the founder of the Klan. And in fact, the Klan of the 1860s is very different from the Klan of today.
It's upsetting that people would attack history and try to erase history like this. It takes education to learn about somebody, from 150 years in our past. And the more people know that they get educated about our past, the better off they are. When the Ku Klux was formed, they created it as a social club to start with. Tennessee at that time was ruled by just a tyrannical carpetbag governor, and he had tripled the taxes. And so these ex-Confederates thought that they had better do something about it. So they dressed up in sheets and curtains one night and ran him out of town. And they restored law and order to Pulaski, Tennessee. Well, this caught on, and the next town did the same thing. They were also protecting the white and black farmers who were losing their land. So it wasn't an anti-black thing whatsoever in the 1860s. After it had gone on for over a year, the Klan had spread so widely that they needed someone who could really organize the Klan, and they voted in General Forrest as president of the Klan. At that same point, the Klan started turning violent. Some of the guys were taking the law into their own hands. And so Bedford Forrest ordered that the Klan be disbanded, and it was. So in 1869, the Ku Klux Klan disappeared.
And this was the initial?
This was the first, right, the first Klan. Then around the time of World War I, jobs were scarce, you had the Great Depression, and the white guys figured out that if you scared the black guys out of town, there'd be more jobs. Generally speaking, blacks are more scared of ghosts than other people. So it became an economic tool for the Klan to resurrect itself.
Is the word scare a bit?
Well, scare might be a little bit light.
Yeah, a little light, I would think.
Yes. There may have been some lynchings then. That's where it first had gotten into little terrorist activities. And then the Klan disappeared by 1933 and was gone until the 1950s and 60s. Then when segregation came about, then the third Klan arose. And they were specifically to fight black civil rights and to oppose federal intervention. And they really developed the scare tactics just to terrorize the black residents. And that's unfortunate Klan that we have today is more of the terrorist group.
Do you think the city council is engaging in revisionist history?
Oh yes, I certainly do. They're trying to eliminate these 3 Civil War parks, which is part of American history, Memphis history certainly, and so it's certainly upon the shoulders of the city council that the Klan is coming to Memphis for a rally. And it's unfortunate because it's going to give Memphis a further black eye.
It was the Memphis City Council who spearheaded the decision to change the name of Forest Park. Two council members in particular, Janice Foylove and Myron Lowry, were extremely vocal about the reasons for the renaming.
Why do we have to put up with what we have seen for decades and decades that's just a reminder of how evil some people had been towards my people and other people? I marched with Dr. King back in 1968, got shot at by a Memphis police officer. The only thing that saved me, I had a hairpiece on my head and a big old hole was in it. And we don't need that. We are a progressive city. We're moving forward.
The decision to change these parks' names, I mean, is there any responsibility to bear on the council?
I take the blame. Even though I've got death threats, they gonna hang me, nigga, we gonna get you, fine.
Is that what the Klans, they're calling you?
I don't know if it was the
somebody?
Klan.
Okay.
Somebody. Yeah, they were gonna kill, I was gonna be hung. Okay, so what, hang me. But I'm still gonna stand for that, which is right, even if I stand by myself. But fortunately, there were 12 others that stood with me.
I've referred to the Klan as a terrorist organization. In fact, I call them the American Taliban. Change produces controversy, and that's what we have in this case. People, many people, don't want to change. They want to live in the past with the memories that they have. Well, no one is trying to change history. We're only trying to add on to history.
Mr. Castro, U.S. Grant.
Nice to meet you, General Grant.
Won't you come in?
Yes. Hello.
This is my wife, Julia. Julia, this is Mr. Rocco Castoro.
Good morning, sir.
Pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Grant.
Welcome to our home.
Thank you for having me.
Julia graciously agreed to join us briefly.
That's wonderful. Memphis is a weird but magical place, and is apparently home to a wormhole that allowed me to travel back in time to meet Union General and former President Ulysses S. Grant, a.k.a. Dr. E.C. Fields, to get his opinion on the controversy.
Councilwoman Fullilove does not know her history, and that's someone who has the position, don't confuse me with the truth. I've got my mind made up. General Forrest, he was supportive of Negro black rights. In fact, in 1875, he came out and said strongly that he felt that blacks should be admitted to the bar to practice law. He had earlier said that blacks should be able to go as far as their capabilities could take them. I never met General Forrest personally. I know something of his history that I may be able to tell you. General Forrest was a military genius. He was the only man in the Civil War, and indeed the only man in history who rose from a private soldier to lieutenant general in the same war. His movements, his tactics, his efforts are still studied at the United States Military Academy. So General Forrest, to me, is exemplary of someone who was one of the most effective combat leaders in military history. That's Chief. He's chiefed up, so we call him Chief.
What will you be doing on Saturday when the rally is happening?
I will be here in the 21st century. I will be here on my deck looking at my ducks on the lake. I will place myself as far away as I possibly can from what's going on downtown. And I urge everyone to stay away from that. Don't give anybody, be it the Klan or the Crips, an audience.
Yeah, so man, we get this DUI out here, man. Divine United International. We're trying to stop killing each other. How y'all feel about that? You know, it says DUI, but it's not DUI, we driving drunk enough. You know, we trying to come together. So the more people you know in Memphis, imagine you had all them connections. You'll never have a problem. You get stranded somewhere, you can call anybody. We're gonna bring everybody together, man. All the gangs and stuff like that, we're gonna bring all that together and do something
man,
positive.
positive.
The first
man.
event we got is gonna be Saturday at the KKK rally, and we're gonna try to scoop everybody up and go down there just to show them, you know what I'm saying, that we don't wanna hear none of that. East side, nigga.